Hi, everyone. Joseph Lavoie here. Welcome to Business is Politics. And today I'd like to talk about margin of effort. And in order to talk about this concept, I'm going to have to get you briefed in on what's occurring here in my home province of British Columbia. But it's important for us to understand what's going on here because it serves as an important use case for what's to come and what it means for us in a business context. So, in British Columbia, in case you didn't catch this news, if this is not a jurisdiction that matters to you, last week was very transformative in British Columbia politics. Effectively, we are several weeks out from an election due to take place in October. And in advance of the election, the official opposition party was seeing a massive drop in the polls down from double digits down to single digits, while at the same time, a right-leaning party, the Conservative Party of British Columbia, was seeing massive gains. Now, a common view was that these two parties were otherwise going to split the vote and make it pretty much guaranteed that the incumbent Progressive Party was going to hold on to power. So the BC United Party, that's the one that had the massive drop in polling numbers, the leader decided, catching his team off guard, decided to suspend the campaign to ensure that the right-leaning vote would have one option on the ballot. Now, the mistake we would often make is to assume that this means a 1+1 scenario would equal 2, and we should assume that voters and supportive voters of both of these parties will come together, and that the result will be a win for the Conservatives. Now, that may happen, but it's not a 1+1 equals 2 situation. What is going to matter is the margin of effort. So if we look a little bit more closely, where there's strong support for the BC Conservatives, it's among younger demographics, people who have been very responsive to that party's message around cost of living, around housing affordability, and post-pandemic issues that have consumed the zeitgeist in the last several years. The problem is that audience, that supportive younger audience, typically does not show up to vote on election day to nearly the same levels as older audiences. And in this campaign, older audiences are leaning towards the incumbent Progressive Party. What's going to separate the winner from the loser in this campaign is the ability of that party to effectively mobilize their supporter base. And it's what I call the margin of effort. It's a common term in our circles in political campaign world, but it's a concept that we need to think about in a business context as well. When you are fighting a regulatory issue, or when you need to engage voters on political issues, it's one thing for you to run an awareness campaign. It's one thing for you to raise awareness about your issue. It is one thing for you to even build a movement of people who are engaged about whatever topic it is you're engaging them on. It is quite another to get them to take action, to mobilize them into action. Your ability to do that and your ability to do it at a higher delta than the forces you're up against, that is your margin of effort. And as you start to look at the fall schedule, many of us have obligations. Legislative sessions are coming back. As you're looking at how to plan for your fall and heading into calendar 2025, I encourage you to look at what you're doing to grow your margin of effort vis-a-vis either the opposing forces you're up against or against the regulatory challenges that you face. If you've got a higher margin of effort, if you can mobilize a vote in your favor, at a greater rate than what you're up against, then you have a higher chance of driving winning outcomes.